All right, this is week 2 for the Strive Studio that I'm holding with the Midwest Arc System Works fighting game Discord for Guilty Gear Strive. This week, my review is for Monty. We see Monty here, player one side playing Axel. It's Monty versus DanCasting. You can see up top it's the first to 10, but I'm only going to be watching the first to 5. Right away, let's pay attention, as always, to the round start. We have Axel versus Milia. Milia round starts oftentimes, I think a very prominent action is far slash. But conversely, Axel's far slash is also one of the best in the game, I feel. And I think a lot of stuff is going to be rotated around that. Whether or not it actually happens, it's going to be something that both players need to be very present for. I know Monty played, I watched Monty play actually, against a Milia player in the CLG Run It Thursdays. That happened just a few days ago. So I'm going to be curious to see how this actually turns out. Something that's going to be crucial in this matchup, just from my understanding of both characters' tools, will likely be how Monty is able to keep Milia on the ground. Axel has a lot of great options to sort of keep Milia thinking while she's in the air, whether it's your 2S, 6K, JPJS, 5P, all very great options that the Milia player has to sort of measure around and I think choose what they're going to lose to. But as we continue, let's first actually find out what's going through here. I'm going to be taking notes simultaneously with this live review so that Monty can read and read this without having to see my video review, but I'm giving this for not only his benefit, but for anyone at home who wants to see how I personally look at and break down these matches. So let's get into this. Round start. Very respectful round start, and that was a very good recognition from Monty right away. It's going to be a lot of pausing and going back. The round start IAD back JS notices that DanCasting is now bringing the air approach and is able to punish the Capella. And this angle might actually be able to punish most things that Milia wants to do with the 2S. So I'm going to say game 1, round 1. Strong round start. Conservative focus on the ground with time to react to the air approach. This is already at 11 seconds in. I like this already. Very smart. He's going to be able to set up a lot for Monty using Winter Mantis, gets the meaty Rensen. Oh, 5P. I think perhaps a little bit too proactive, but this is still early on in the round. It's a little too proactive, assuming that they're going to stay on the ground. So back 5 seconds. Yeah, we caught them with the meaty Rensen explosion on the way back. Not sure necessarily if there's a lot of time to react if the far slash misses, but something like staying still on the ground with that far slash, or after that, sorry, jump slash, might be able to pay attention early on in this. I don't feel bad about anything that they did, but it happened to not work out. DanCasting gets their first open up. This is going to be tough to block. That was messed up from DanCasting. It had to be, because normally Capel setups like that are built to get a meaty jump normal. So 26 seconds. The reversal throw in this case happens to work out, but it's just so dangerous in these circumstances. Milia players often get auto-timed meaty overhead in this situation. So be mindful. Gets the forward throw. Forward throw? That's... Huh. Forward throw, not back throw, so it wasn't like a fuzzy. Because this would, if there was like a slight delay throw to get around meaty, maybe it could have punished landing frames. But Monty does forward throw, which I'm just confused about. Let's just see. They go for the meaty. Pressure set up. Good PRCs. Stay safe. Meaty. Same setup. Gets the overhead. Forces them to reset. Capel right over. This is already an evolution here from that 11 seconds. Gets the throw here. I'm going to rewind to see this interaction once more. Yeah, that was DanCasting messing up a setup again. Similar at 39 seconds. As the set continues, I'm going to be less note heavy. But it happens to work out for Monty. Both players still sitting on burst here. Bursting against Axel is very dangerous. There's that far slash coming into play that I was talking about earlier. That 5P likely to catch, I'm going to assume backdash or air approach. Preemptively calling out with the JP here. I don't think that 5P was a very strong or like positively weighted idea. So like 50 seconds, JP doesn't seem like it has a lot of payoff. And JP, I think, is a more reactive than proactive button. But I'm not an Axel main. DanCasting gets the punish here off of that. And they're going to be able to set the wall break if they want. Drop. 2S trade. Good recognition on the jump cancel. Or I guess just a neutral jump afterwards. Doesn't matter. Axel gets the setup shop here. Yeah, preemptive 2S. I don't feel terrible about that 2S. I'm just going to look at the resources off that burst. Bursting as Axel from a lower life percentage isn't terrible. I still feel like he can save it towards the end, but it's not imperative. 50%. We're spending the YRC. Bait it. Okay, forces the burst. I like this situation. Gets the 2S 5P. 6K happens to miss. Can just clean up on some confirms. Like 2S 5P Winter Mantis might be more consistent, or like 5P if you can get the charge ready Rensen for like a meaty cherry bomb. Pinwheel here catches the misstep. Extra plus frames. It looks like DanCasting was trying to move. 6P, Milia 6P, I think pretty strong. She moves really fast, and the 6P has a fairly forward hurt box, but in this case, it's hard to contest, especially with the Rensen. At this situation, I don't feel bad about that from DanCasting, but here is the first game in favor of Monty. Round start Rainwater like a boss. I was watching Monty do his CLG run. I was just cheering on for the round start Rainwater. I think it's goofy, but it works out here. Gotta go for at least one, right? Same side mix up with overhead. Zoning here. JS whiffs, jumps over. What was the situation? That was a JS. Backdashes to try to get out. Let's count our aerial actions from Milia. Jumps out. 1, 2, 3, and she doesn't have any more. Backdash out. And we get far slash here. Catch the approach. Burst out. Very low resources. It's so hard to get in on Axel, so that burst was very good for Monty there. Gets the 2S, but nothing off of it. Counter hit, burst. 2S. That's fine. I actually think that's fine. If you're not sure about, uh, I like this situation. If you're not sure if you can get a good confirm, moving up and taking a real estate is a strong thought line, especially with long distance characters. Being able to move forward with a zoner is always good, always strong. Now we get this rainwater payoff here, plus frames. First time canceling into the snail after this. Good look. DanCasting moving in with just over 50%. That burst, not terrible, all things considered, but still going to be tough. Catches the Mirage with the low. It's not fully invulnerable and has a hitbox at the toes. IAD throw? Was that just a call out? I don't know. Air throws from that distance feel greedy. Like, you could more conservatively get, like, preemptive JK, I think. It just as, like, a check. You don't even need a good confirm off of that, just being able to say, hey, stop being in the air. The air throw could have been a little bit more well thought, I think. 5p round start. Didn't work out the first time, but it works out there. Same side. Milia doing Milia things. Cashing out on the knockdown, okay. I'm not doing notes for DanCasting, but that was such a like, what's the point of that? You just wasted 50% meter there. And that... I'm going to complain about this. 258 Y burst. I hate it. Gets the counter hit instant overhead with the JH. Keeping the corner. That's not a true combo, but it's a great setup. The burst happens to work out, but I'm still upset. Let's continue next round. This is 2-0 right now in favor of Monte. Let's get this round start. Okay, they're respecting the round starts against each other. Not sure what DanCasting could have gotten out of that. Maybe like 2p 4-frame normal, but still already a good start. Lust Shaker, I believe, is actually plus, but the distance is hard, or maybe it's neutral or something. The distance is hard for Milia to really do anything about, that far slash from Axel's just so strong. 6k, preemptive, catches them out of the air. Good look on that turbo fall punish. Throw often being, or is the fastest punish. Got shimmied? Oh, unfortunate. 350. Let's just clean up these conversions again. Monty has said many times that he wants people to be harsh to him, so I'll just point out something that he can definitely recognize it himself, but I just want to point it out again. What was that sound effect? I know DanCasting here has some mods, but... Was that the Ultra Instinct theme? Okay. Milia pressure hard. I'm going to complain about this 6p also. Works out, but 6p? I just don't like that. Ooh, what was the spacing on that? 10? Oh, it's because we're in the corner. Yeah, the spacing is weird because of the corner. Wire C's out. What was it, off of close slash? Yeah, off of close slash, I think this Wire C's fine. If we're anything other than close slash, I would have complained about the Wire C. I completely understand here. Able to get out, gets the extra friendly delay cancel. Yeah, here's a instance, I'm just going to point this out. I'm not going to give this a note here. Point of JP being a reactive rather than proactive button. As we saw earlier, about 50 seconds in, if for those of you who want to take a look at this, the JP completely whiffed. Monte was just trying to like keep DanCasting out of the air, but this is a reactive game plan. We are able to see. We take some space here, dash forward. Yeah, we can clearly recognize that DanCasting is in the air. We move forward, IAD back JP, just telling them the air is not a free space to go to. Do not pass go, do not collect $200. That was tricky. That was clever from DanCasting. Empty low. Great recognition. Even off of a trade, this is really great. 6P, I seldom see Axel players using 6P, but this use of 2S, fantastic. It would have traded, or it could have traded, but we have so much here, and a lot of the time you might be able to get a combo off of that anyway, so really great look for the 2S. Look at this evolution of the round start here. 6H on round start, going over low crush over the Axel 2P, because we just saw Mirage already worked in the previous round on round start. Mirage didn't work for the first 2P, but this is sort of the evolution here. Perhaps Monte calling out the backdash, or a Mirage getting completely punished. I love this evolution. Oh, we got the air throws here. Great reaction. Give some praise. Great anti-air throw. I gotta look out for those myself. I'm so bad at it. Shimmy, that's a plus frame. Grappler zoner, we love to see it. Threatening at that time, that might have just been a true block string anyway. I'm not sure. Nah, I don't think that was a true block string. But I don't disagree with this. I feel like there are a lot of iterations here that are both safe, positive. It happens to work out, but I feel like you could just do a little bit more to get into your opponent's head by just dashing for like a fraction of a second longer. Either way, works out phenomenally. We get the wall stick. We could have gotten more here. Works out. Milia is so weak. Very low guts, very low health. Still works out. Super wall break, of course, would have been better. I'm not sure actually about the stun on the wall and the recovery in favor to get the super to go through. Regardless, works out well. 2K2D. Yeah, this is the classic 2K2D. Don't cancel into anything. Sort of bait the overextension. 2S counter hit, or not a counter hit. The 2S trade sends DanCasting far away. All right. 5K check. What is 5K? 5K, I'm thinking 6, 7 frames. I believe Axel 2K is his 5-framer. Still, fantastic button. Just curious. Oh, almost good blocks. Good guess there. Oh, we're not paying attention to resources, especially off of 6H. Especially off of 6H here. 552. Let's look at resources and stand block against 6H next time. What was it? It might have been off of like close slash, so I can understand the hesitance. 2 hits close slash. I don't know. Like it's hard to react to that first hit 6H. It's like I'm going to assume it's like DanCasting being careful about jump cancel, Tiger Need, Bad Moon. I don't know. I feel like just paying attention to the resources could have informed the offensive decision, but a better Milia player would just sort of let this option weigh on the opponent. Maybe like stagger close slash could have been really good. Fast RC 2K. This is working out pretty well for DanCasting. Gets out of the throw. DanCasting wants this round, and I really understand this. Yeah. Using your burst when you know it's going to matter against Axel is very important, because he's always very far away. Round start, Raid and Water. Rocking through the RPS. Doesn't set up any sort of meaty there. No issues. Close slash anti-air with the Among Us sound effect. Ooh, dropped combo. I'm not going to complain about that one. Ooh, that was an anti-air. This player plays Exerd. Yeah, like whiff 2K, you have time to think about the jump from DanCasting, especially because you're playing against Milia. It's really great awareness. Moving forward, just blocking on round start. Always love the patience. Missed throw. We can clean that up in the future, but 5P counter hit. The Rensen is going to catch anything you try to do after that. Oh, good look on the cross up here. All right, since I have it paused here, we have 6H. What can we look out for? We're blocking 6H. We can stand block. We can reaction to the turbo fall to throw. We can just block the Capel if it happens. Or once we see the third hit, we can just go back to blocking low if Iron Savior comes out. So let's see how this iteration and interaction works out. Yeah. Iron Savior, I think you have to forward fast RC that rather than up fast RC. Better Milia players would know more than me. DanCasting's been going a lot for this cross-up JH. Monte has been blocking it pretty well. I think they can mix it up. They still get the meaty pressure going because air dash in pressure very safe for the aggressor. And is able to mix up because Milia has amazing air options. Oh, I think DanCasting expected to get the cross up there. Still gets the knockdown. I'm just going to... Let's look at the inputs here. Is this knockdown? Oh, expected the cross up. Monte just got hit. I think that was expect the cross up fuzzy throw tech. No, just expected the cross up. Got a burst soon. Dangerous burst, but it happens to work out. It's sort of like damned if you do, damned if you don't situation. It works out very well. They've been paying attention to how DanCasting has been structuring their offense. Just gets caught. Okay, just raw Iron Savior. Yeah, that was a 2P that gets caught on startup by Mirage Iron Savior. Oh, love this throw punish actually. 650. Love the throw punish. It's unburstable and takes the corner. Well-informed and smart decision. Okay, patience. Just close slash eat the plus frames. I don't know if it's actually plus, but just eat the delay string, trying to be patient about a burst. That was... Monty talked about this. That was supposed to be Axel Bomber, wasn't it? Was that actually supposed to be Rensen Pinwheel RC? I'm curious about this burst punish. Yeah, I think that was supposed to be Rensen. Rensen Pinwheel RC. intended. Close slash bomber might have been more consistent, but I'm not sure about the damage differential of the burst punish option. I don't know, I'm just curious. He tries to go for the instant overhead, just a little bit too far forward. DanCasting takes the first game, 3-1 in the set. Round start 2P, doesn't do anything about them in the air. This is not a permutation we've seen yet. So if DanCasting hadn't done anything, they would have potentially traded or fallen onto that 5K. 2S might have traded. I'm just going to write this as a question. After with 2P in this situation, would 2S have been better? Could it have covered more options is the real question. Just gets caught pressing a button. Was that like just pressing buttons on defense, I guess? Probably trying to get a tick throw set up. I saw that 2K. Good luck on the 2S getting out. Ooh, RC. Unfortunate. The forward jump might have actually been able to get that. I think the neutral jump is what made it miss. Yeah, I think forward jump would have gotten there. Fuzzy third tech? Why are you pressing 4D there? Still dangerous, happens to work out. I don't know, I've already talked about this sort of situation previously. I don't know if I need to write it down again. Safe jump setup. Millie didn't have 100%. Not a safe jump setup. Really? Was that a just messed up safe jump? That was a good air-to-air by DanCasting. It looked like Monte was going for the throw. OTG? Oh, OTG might have actually been able to take it. Yeah, you can't do that. They're going to do 2K2D. Even if they did a snail, you might have been able to like block, but I think it would have blown you back. The snail might have just hit anyway. That was just not the sort of thing you want to do after 2K2D, and Monte hasn't really represented a lot of special cancels out of it. Mix up, gets the cross up empty low. Yeah, there's that IAD back JS, very potent, very strong action. I actually played a bunch of games against Solar, another Midwestern Axel player. And I see Solar using that so often in neutral. It's low commitment, high payoff, and it just lets you react and respond super strong. But let's continue. 2S counter hit. Just trying to poke the burst out. Yeah, you're so close to death. RC to stay safe. Mash. Ooh, yeah, there's that fuzzy throw tech. 850. You've been fuzzy throw teching a lot on defense, and it's finally getting like fully punished. Just be wary of how you rotate options on defense. Just looking at this right here, if Monte can find a good burst point, this is going to be just a solid, because Millie kills you really slowly. Axel keeps you really far really easily, and should be able to just like chip out Milia or get like death by 1,000 cuts, just getting a few hits here and there. Alright, taking the wall break just resets to neutral. This is actually just as fine. Yeah, far slash beats out 2P there. Fuzzy throw tech again. I'm looking at the inputs. Yeah. Yeah, it happens again. Burst out. Yeah, Iron Savior trying to skip neutral. This had to have been a missed fast RC. Monte gets the punish, and this is going to be, I think, going up 4-1 at this point. Monte on set point. Runstart Rainwater. Runstart Rainwater's been pretty good for Monte in this set. I feel like you could have done more. 5k, 6k. Sets up for a Rensen. Could you do like 5k, 6k meaty Rensen explosion into another Rensen? I'm just curious. I'm not necessary to be written. Yeah, this has been working out so well. I'm not look. You didn't even have to look at the reasons for this. This is just really greedy by DanCast. Maybe not really greedy, but yeah, I'm gonna say really greedy because we saw the 6H come out, and that's already hey, let's signal for hey, let's stand block, and we can see right here, Monty's actually shifting to the stand block. So DanCasting, I'm not sure why you did that. Offensive burst. We're a little close to the corner, but I feel like there could have been more to a burst. Yeah. Yeah, just staggering these far slashes. Okay. Perhaps a little bit too content with that. DanCasting gets out. Maybe that was a BRC setup? I'm not sure. Monty pokes out on offense. Let's just take a look at this poke out. Yeah, that's... S tandem top is minus, oftentimes far enough that they can backdash out. I don't know what DanCasting was really going for there. But this is set point here. And we saw there in the air, that's a reactive JP. Already learning. Fuzzy throw tech. Just backing up. Okay. Gets around that Capel. I'm just curious. That spacing might have been just bad for DanCasting. So like Capel, they get yeah, with the JK. I think this was like a good very good interaction, situational awareness for Monty. Like DanCasting is going the other way. Their momentum is to the left when they hit the cross up JK. And like this is a well-informed far slash. Well-informed far slash, recognizing momentum and where Milia is going to land. Gets a knockdown set up, just getting caught by the Rensen. Should be able to hit, right? Yeah. So close to killing. This is a one interaction game. Yeah. I think this is perfectly fine. I'm not sure what the safe jump setup is off of Axel if they get a safe jump, but like DanCasting didn't even have 50% tension, and just getting a meaty IAD would be enough to get around the burst. I'm actually curious why you didn't go in after this. I don't hate it, but given the resource information, I'm confused why you didn't go in after the super wall break. No winger on deck means that meaty jump in should avoid reactionary burst. And even if burst hits, that's just good for you. Oh, 2H countered with the Iron Saber to clean it up. Monty takes it 5-1 over DanCasting. Overall, a lot of really great things from Monty. Monty's a very smart player in a bunch of different games. When I met them, they were a very strong Street Fighter V player, and I believe even got like top 24 Frosty Fastings 2020. I remember him being gassed up for that. That was great. Um, I think there was some really great usage and recognition on a lot of the ground buttons. Air buttons, there's a lot that went right, but there's a lot that like could have gone wrong. Also, like a very key point here is fuzzy tech throw. That's it feels so dangerous. When it works out, it's like, "Oh my God, I just got the throw on them and I am going to steal this round." But when it doesn't work out, you are like at best stuck in block stun, which is not great, and at worst getting counter hit and losing so much of your life. Like your defensive options, I think, can be just rolled through at a different pace, or just representing something a little bit more over what's going on. Like defensive 6P sometimes. I'm not sure about with Axel, but like defensive 6P, 2K backdash, fuzzy jump. Like fuzzy jump might be better than fuzzy throw or fuzzy backdash because you're. I guess it's context dependent because with like meaty jump ins, you're going to get caught with like a fuzzy jump. But if you're just like in a block string, so much worse can happen when you're trying to fuzzy throw. I think that's perhaps the worst thing that was going on from Monty. Um, Otherwise, like doing a great job of rotating the options. I think there's something to be said about using like JS or IAD back JS. It's such a powerful option, and having recently, like literally just a few hours ago, having played against Solar, JS is such a strong button. Maybe it's different against Milia, but if you're trying to check ground movement, JS seems and feels so strong. It's just something to consider, Monty, if and when you're looking back on this. If you're listening to me right now, test it out a little bit. This is also week of Frosty Faustings. Frosty Faustings 2023. Frosty Faustings 15 starts this Friday. So, just being able to think about this, there's going to be a lot going on and a lot to think about, but I think you can do a lot of great things here, and there's a lot going on that I'm excited to see evolve and develop. This is a first attempt. I'm not going to finish it on video. I might watch the rest. If you watching this want to watch the video here, I'll link it down below. I have my notes for Monty that I'll send him, but everything I said in the video, there's nothing on my notes that wasn't reflected in me reviewing here as a recording. Nonetheless, I'm excited to see the evolution of the gameplay and the big time Axel gaming. So good luck with your growth, Monty, and thanks for watching.